We don't want to leave anything for granted. We don't want to leave any stone unturned. Let us go out and vote overwhelmingly, Layou. Let us go out and vote overwhelmingly, Buckerment. Let us go out and vote overwhelmingly, barely, for Benjamin Exeter and the New Democratic Party. I guarantee you that your life is going to be better on the night of the 5th of November. So thank you very much, Central Leeward. Thank you very much, Central Leeward. When the nature boy and the forces of nature in South Leeward taking its course, I tell you what, in South Leeward, there is the unstoppable force of nature. And you saw it Tuesday night. But I tell you what, that is just the smoke. On the 2nd of November, God spare our lives. The 2nd of November, you don't want to see what's going to happen in South Leeward. Because we're going to be back on the road. We are going to be back on the road. And we are going to be celebrating not just the 2nd of November, but the 3rd of November is what? The Nature Boys bought there. So when they bring election in November, they didn't know that they were bringing me about the gift. And we are going to celebrate all of November because we are going to have a new government, new hope, new aspiration with the New Democratic Party. Thank you very much, Central Leeward. And together, let's do this for all of us. Thank you, and God bless you.
Yes, I does the blessing.
Nature.
I does the blessing. Father God blessing. Well, more blessing. I does the blessing. I does the blessing. Them can't stop me. I am blessed. I am blessed. Every day of my life I am blessed. When I wake up in the morning and I lay my head to rest, every day of my life I am blessed.
Let me tell you young people something. You see the fella that just talked there? You know Bongo? You know Bongo Papasha? That Bongo nephew. So yeah, Layou man. Well, watch me now. You know, the Unity Labour Party devised a plan so that they give you some cutlass and they send you up the road to work for 7 days. Some of these young men and women that are working, they have nothing to do, so they're glad to get the little jobs so they can get some money in their pockets now. Some of you get a little girlfriend and a little thing, you gotta buy a little cologne and bought the come and so on. We understand that. But we are saying to you tonight, as the New Democratic Party, that we will change that. Dr. Friday and Ben Exeter is saying to you, we want you to go back to school. Those of you who can't deal with the academia, there are skills that you could learn so that you could go and learn a skill and you could do something to develop yourself. Huh? Not just going up the road 2 times per year in December and in August, 7 days work, 14 days work a year. Huh? How could that help you as an individual? How could that help you as a young person? So I'm saying to you, all the young people that are listening to me here tonight, that are from Central Leeward and from South Leeward, and as a matter of fact, the young people throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines, you must stand up and say no to that. Because we don't want that all the time. We want something that is sustainable. In Central Leeward, there is no pedeno. There is no factory. There is nothing at all that you could go to and look for a job. NDP, Dr. Godwin Friday, and Ben Exeter will change that for you. We'll make sure that there is a payday in Central Leeward. You know, because we look across this audience and see how many young people that are here tonight and you are suffering. A matter of fact, let me say something to our Barley people here tonight. You know that they did a national census in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Do you know that? And they say that Barley, 60% of the people in Barley are living below the poverty line. And when I hear people like Frank De Silva and Ernesto Cook talking on radio, talking garbage, the word I want to say tonight, I can't say it because I'm in the public, but they're talking garbage that this Unity Labour Party is a great government and they're working for poor people. How come they're working for poor people and they take the lands at Peter Soap and sell them on the value 21 acres for $7 million US dollars when it was $28 million? How come? How come? I am saying to you, the young people of Central Leeward, if you don't remove from government this wicked regime, when you start to make children here in Central Leeward, you won't have no land to build a house to put them in. Because Ralph Gonzalez will sell all the lands that NDP buy here. They never buy an ounce of land nowhere in Central Leeward. It is all the land that was bought here was bought by James Mitchell and the New Democratic Party. And Ralph Gonzalez is selling them every morning he wake up. And he's selling them on the value. Because why? Huh? And I'm saying to you here tonight, he wants to keep you poor and ignorant. But that will not work here. Because we have a champion. We have a man here that came here in 2015 and run. And they interfere with the election instrument to play the reinstalling Louis Straker, the Terminator. But I know that Randy said that he's a pastor. No, they're telling me tonight that I must talk about Randy, but I have to talk about Randy because he said that he's a pastor, and pastor cannot encourage people to steal because the Bible says in the book of Exodus, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not lie. And Randy, as a pastor, cannot encourage his family to steal here in Central Leeward again. So I know that when the numbers are counted on election night, that Ben Exeter will be the next representative for Central Leeward. Listen, I only begin to talk, you know. That is why I believe they keep the mic out of my hand for so long. Because I have so much thing to say about so many dirty people in Central Leeward and right here in Layou. And I want to talk about them because I want you to know that the people that grin in a vehicle in the past, some of them say they're taking care of nature. When they pass and they grin in a good grin. So tonight I have a beautiful lady here. I have a beautiful lady here tonight. And she come in to talk to you. This is an intelligent woman. A woman of class. A woman of great quality and substance. You know? She ain't a Central Leeward woman yet, but she come in a Central Leeward woman. I can bet your life on that. Bet your dollar on that. Put your hands together and welcome. Useless daughter. Ladies and gentlemen. The beautiful Layou.
Hallelujah. Skanking, grooving. Help me, Jaja. Yeah. Skanking, grooving. Under pressure. Yeah. Skanking, grooving.
Good night, Central Leeward. Good night, Central Leeward. Yeah, man. Yeah. You know what always moves me? Anytime you get on a platform and you just see pure women all around. Look at y'all at the front of the stage. You're at the back working. You're everywhere, eh? Can you hear me now? I'm a little bit hoarse, yeah? But here now. Thank you. Anytime I come to the mic to talk about women, because people sometimes go like, Lord, not women again, right? But if you are not speaking about women, you are not speaking about the nation. If you are not speaking about women, and if you are not concerned about the status of women, then you are not concerned about national development. And in St. Vincent, a country which the UN Office on Drugs and Crimes has ranked among the worst in the world for crimes against women and children, if you are not talking about women, you are absolutely reckless. So I just want to share with you a little meditation here tonight. Just imagine it's 2020 and we're at an election. And the political parties are putting forward all of their policies. This is our plan for you. Well, one party is putting forward its policies and plans. Another party is telling you that all of the aborted projects you see, all of the failures, are actually successes. They're insulting your intelligence. They're claiming to have this amazing and pristine record. But the one thing that the Unity Labour Party cannot speak about in 2020 at election time is what it has done for women. The Unity Labour Party cannot speak for what it has done for half the population of the country. Women, they have maintained a dignified silence on women. Half the households in this country that are led by a single parent are led by women. 90% of the people in the congregations in the churches are women. You go to all of the political rallies and there are always more women there than men. We decide who runs the country. We decide how we are running a household. And we nurture a nation. Yet, this particular government cannot speak about women because it lacks the moral authority to do so. They are ashamed and afraid to touch any issue concerning women. And as a result, every single Vincentian is affected. Let's take, for example, the Domestic Violence Act. We have a new act, and it's better than the old one. It's part of a sub-regional initiative. It's better than the old one. But guess what? After that act was drafted, an act that would protect women who were in situations where they were being victimized as a result of domestic violence, that act was drafted. It was then put on a shelf. And it stayed there for 8 years before it was passed. And the act is so much better than its predecessor, but it was never a priority. that anytime you say the word feminism in St. Vincent, people think that you're anti-man. If women don't do better, if we don't seek to encourage women, then ultimately no one does better. But we continue to be fed this narrative where national policies, anything that is not gender specific, services everybody. It is not true in this country. Tell me something. Why is it that in the 1990s, when I was a student in Barbados, pregnant students continued their education without interruption? Yeah, the only obvious interruption was to have the baby, but they went straight back to that school and that curriculum that they were coming up in. They were not penalized for their bodies. That's in the 1990s in Barbados. Almost 30 years later, we are still transferring girls who are pregnant, like pregnancy is a plague. And we are sending them to schools that don't even offer the subjects that they were signed up to do at CXC, at O levels. So they may have come out of a school that offered chemistry, biology, physics, and they go later to a school that will only do integrated science, if any sciences at all. Tell me, if you penalize a young mother, you are consigning her child to poverty. Because if the mother isn't educated, how is she going to feed the child? Progress takes a while. They keep telling us that. We need to be patient. If 19 years isn't long enough, what is? The baby born when the ULP took government on March 28, 2001 is now 19 years old. How much longer? We all know what happens to a dream deferred. Are we going to continue to sit by as we see girls disadvantaged, as we have an act that, while way better than the old one, the Domestic Violence Act, still does not empower the president of the family court to put criminal sanctions on someone who engages in domestic violence? So the man is doing all of these things, and the court can give a protection order, it can put him out of the house, but it cannot give him jail time. Only if he breaches the order, and that is the purpose of it. How does that service a population that the UN is telling us is disproportionately affected by domestic violence? Many women complain that sexual harassment is so pervasive in St. Vincent and the Grenadines that they just accept it. How many young women say that they had to go to a particular office in government, they had to go to someone who is not even related to the position, and they had to do things that they never expected to have to do, that they ought not to expect to have to do in order to get a job. Not even just in government, it happens also in the private sector. Where is the sexual harassment policy for St. Vincent and the Grenadines 20 years later? Where is it? Under the NDP, successive NDP administrations, progress was being made. Teachers no longer had to resign when they got pregnant. There was pursuit of equal pay. St. Vincent's Women's Desk was considered a model in the region. And after the ULP got in office, everything came to a screeching halt. The NDP used to struggle to find women willing to subject themselves to the abuse that female political candidates face when they oppose the ULP. We had Vinette Frederick in 2010 and could not find a single woman in 2015, not because there weren't women of the caliber as Ralph Gonsalves has put it recently. He said there are no women of the caliber of Soboto Caesar and Camilo Gonsalves. But that wasn't the problem. There are women of caliber all over this country, but they didn't want to subject themselves to that abuse. But you know, you can only oppress. You can only abuse people for so long. At some point, enough is enough. And what we are seeing in having people like Kay Bacchus Batiste, Laverne Velox, and Shavern John is enough is enough. And let me tell you something about Shavern. Y'all saw at Oria when Shavern got up and said, "Where are my Garifuna women?" And she proudly declared, "I am a Garifuna woman." That is about identity politics. It was a profound moment in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. When she made that declaration, she was speaking both as a woman and as a member of one of the most marginalized groups in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the Garifuna. When people have had enough, nothing can keep them down. And I want to say to you, the floodgates are now open, Everything is going to change. You are going to see more women coming forward for political office, which is about time, because since universal adult suffrage in 1951, guess how many women have been elected to parliament? How many women have won elections in St. Vincent and the Grenadines? Since 1951, 5. 5 women. Do you recognize the moment that we're in right now? People have had enough. The youth have had enough. You saw them when they were in South Leeward. You saw their numbers. Women, we've had enough, haven't we? So my question is, number one, are you registered to vote? Yes. You check your registration? Yes. You know which polling station you're voting at? Yes. You know who you're marking your X for? Yes. You know why you're marking your X for Exeter? Yes. You know why you're marking your X for the key? Yes. Let me tell you something here. There's a manifesto launch. Make sure you find yourselves there. See what is in store for women. Because while no government can empower women, it can create the atmosphere in which we can thrive. And the only administration in these times that will do that is an NDP administration. So forward we go, and we ain't turning back now. We have come too far. Those are showers of blessings, man. We ain't afraid that. We ain't afraid no rain. Now, there are others here to speak. I love talking to my sisters. And I ask the men to recognize that women's empowerment is not about having more than men. Women's empowerment is about making sure that all of us do better. Don't be afraid of it. The tide is coming. And the NDP is bringing it. Progress is coming. We're going to have jobs. Instead of somebody telling you you have to come to Papa, you're not going to need to be on poor relief, because you will be able to earn and provide. And no matter what they say about the NDP having nothing for jobs, you have heard blue economy, but there's also a green economy. You have heard about what they're calling selling passports. They've afraid it. CBI, this is something that's working in the rest of the region. You have heard a number of projects and plans outlined. But you're going to be discouraged. They're going to tell you this is a joke. They can't do it. You know why they believe the NDP can't do it? Because in 19 years, they have not done it themselves. If you hire somebody and they don't perform in the job, what do? You fire them. I ain't supporting any political party no matter what they do to me. I ain't putting party before nation. You cannot abuse me for 19 years and expect that I am not going to fire you. Listen to me, it's time to hire somebody else. It's time to hire Dr. Friday. It's time to hire Ben Exeter. It's time to hire Shavern. Hey, Laverne. It's time to hire Nature and Patel. Israel. We're bringing in the Leewards. We're bringing in the Kingstown. We're taking back the St. George's. And let me tell you something. They say they have the Windwards, but Israel Bruce is out there giving them hell. Listen to me. Time to fire them and time to hire the NDP. I look forward to seeing you on November 5th when you go in the polling station and you mark the X for progress and you fire the ULP. And on November 6th, oh Lord. Oh Lord. Watch November 6th. Let me tell you, jobs starting on Saturday, not Friday. We're celebrating on Friday.
Yeah. Hold on. Boy. Listen. You know, Labor Dead. When I see board, like Buckley and no Labor Dead. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a man here. I ain't ready to bring him in. But I say I must bring him now. Because this is the man with the plan. They say Monday is Friday. Tuesday is Friday. Wednesday, Friday, Thursday, and Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, leader of the opposition, president of the New Democratic Party, and the next Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Good night, Central Leeward. Good night, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The rain is threatening and the hour is late. So, but I wanted to be here because this constituency is pivotal. I love the enthusiasm. I love the energy. But I was saying, this constituency is critical to the change that is about to come. Which means that your candidate, soon to be your representative, Ben Exeter, is critical to the NDP forming government on November the 5th. Now, Ben is a fighter. We know he don't take nonsense. He has fought after the last election with your teeth right here. But he stood up and he took the matter through the court, and all of their illegal, all of the irregularities were exposed for all to see. So now we know what they've been up to and we are better prepared for it. But Central Leeward, we have to make sure that this time, that they have no opportunity whatsoever to claim any kind of victory in this constituency. Because you have told us, and the people all over the country, they tell us they want change, that the government that we have now has not delivered for them, that their lives have gone backwards. People are pouring out than they used to be. And they're feeling it. And it hurts because, especially because there are some people who they seem to be getting all of the goodies. They're living off the fat of the land because they have a party card or they know somebody high up in government office. Well, we want to change that. We want to create a country that works, which means it creates jobs and have a good economy, a strong economy, and that it works for everybody. Ben has ideas to bring that level of prosperity to Central Leeward. He has presented them to you. He has put those in his manifesto. And it is a plan that will create a better life for the people in this constituency. And a better life for people throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Because that is what we need to do. More than anything else. The people are crying out for a better standard of living, better jobs, better wages, better future for their children. Which means that they are unhappy with what the government here has delivered. And so we say, we have to change the government so that we can change the country. That is the only way that things will improve. There is no way that the ULP government, after nearly 20 years in office, can deliver for the people. If they ain't do it in 20 years, they could do it in the next 5? It's simply not possible. They have run out of ideas, if they ever had any. They are like expired goods on a shelf, and all you have to do is identify it and throw them out. This is a choice that we have to make on November the 5th. And it's a very important decision. So we have to inform ourselves and make sure that we do what is right for our families, for our neighbors, and for our fellow citizens. This community here, this community in Layou, in central Leeward, we know there are strong fishing communities here. We have a plan to create a larger, stronger, more profitable, more export-oriented fishing industry. This is very important. Right now, we have a fishing industry where the fisher folk, they go out in the open boats in the morning and they come back in when they catch and they try to sell it. That provides a basic standard of living, but it doesn't really transform the lives of the fisher folk because it is inefficient and it doesn't have an export market. So we are going to put a lot of resources, that is a lot of money, a lot of effort to transform the fishing industry, to provide for the local fisher folk in particular an opportunity to own larger boats so that you could go out for 2, 3, 4 days and come back with a larger catch. And then you have a marketing facility in place so that you can sell your catch and then go back out again to do what you do best, which is to catch fish. And this is going to transform the local fishing industry because it means now, instead of you making just enough to get by, you can make enough so that you could put something away, that you can save a little, and you can buy another boat if you want to. But also you can put it aside to educate your children, to take care of yourself if you get sick. And then when you retire and you get off the water, you have something that you could live on. That is the kind of fishing industry we want to see created here. And we will create a special ministry to do that because we believe in our local people. Any economic development that comes to this country that is of great benefit has to be done by the people of this country. That means it stays here. It means that the people who invest here will want to see it work, and they're not going to just pick up and run off when things don't work out. Like they did down in Buckerman Bay Hotel. So this is how we approach it. But we are going to also rethink how we do agriculture. Put available credit into the hands of the farmers. Make sure that the farmers have the inputs that they need and the new technologies that are necessary to make them more productive, like greenhouses, like irrigation and other farming techniques that will make our farmers more productive, and then it makes it more competitive for them to sell their produce. That is what we need. That's the ideas that we have to bring. It's not a matter of finding a new product or a new crop every Monday morning, whether it's turmeric or ackee or whatever else the minister dreams up. It means that you have to change the way that we produce to make our farmers more productive. That is how we are going to revive agriculture. And make no bones about it. We believe that agriculture and fisheries are essential components, essential parts of our economy. And so we have to make them succeed. And we will create the conditions for that. we will create a national development bank that will provide loans to our fisher folk and to our farmers. Treat them like real business people and help them to expand and to succeed. But in order to do that, we have to win the election. We have to make sure that Ben is returned successfully as the candidate and the representative for Central Leeward. So are you going to return? Are you going to make Ben your vote? You're going to make Ben. Thank you so much. Here, Central Leeward, what I want, this is what I want. It's not my birthday, but still I want a birthday present. Okay? This is what I want. Ben has fought for you. I want him to be in Parliament. But more important than that, I want him to be in Cabinet. I want him to sit around the table where you have the power to solve the problems of the country. To do that, you have to elect him. You have to send the NDP into government so that, and here, so that we can say, and we'll tell them no. After Thursday is what? So, election is November the 5th. It's a Thursday. And you have to do the work now. Make sure tomorrow is the last day for registration. Go down, get it done. Get your board paper. Send the kids who come of age to get registered. And what we want, well, to get your birth certificate, to go and get registered. Let me get it done. Because it is the only chance we have to change this country for the better. The ULP are expired. All they're doing is looking out for themselves. And people will tell you this. All they're doing is looking out for themselves. If you're connected, you get something. When elections come around, they come now and telling you, they bring the bag of goodies, and they tell you all kinds of sweetness because they want to get your vote. They will say anything, they will do anything to try to stay in power. The other night, we had our people coming to a meeting, passing on Rail and Hill, and they have those people who will be at the side. They're throwing stones, they're throwing missiles, you hear gunshots firing because they think they're going to frighten us and make us back down. But that ain't happening. Because we are on a mission that is bigger than me and bigger than Ben. It's bigger even than the NDP. It is a mission of all those people who believe that this country can be better, who have seen the last 19 years as wasted opportunities, who have seen their living standards fall, the farmers who have been neglected. They have said that this is the time for us to create a movement that will sweep this government from office, and not only that, sweep away all the inefficiencies that we have had, the corruption that we have had, the nepotism that we have had, the one-sidedness, the bad-mindedness. Sweep it all away and create a new atmosphere for success and create a country that works for all of us. But first of all, a country that works. The economy have to work. You have to be able to create jobs. You have to be able to create wealth. Otherwise, we can't fix the potholes. You see now they're running around and they're fixing potholes here and there. Just now I was in Walvaroo, and surprise, surprise, the road going up there completely just paved like it just paved today. You know? So all of a sudden they have money to do it. They could fix up potholes, they could paint up buildings. And they think we're stupid. We never noticed that for the past 4.5 years, all of that was neglected. And they don't think that we're going to say, well, boy, the next 4.5 years might be like the last 4.5 years. Them fellas, they run out of tricks. And the people of the country are wiser than that. So let us take this opportunity. Inform yourselves. Get the young people to come out. Tell them that Friday is not like Ralph. Not because he disappoints you. Don't blame me for that. Let me change the government to create a better St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And you do this by supporting Ben, by bringing him into office, by supporting all the candidates on the Leeward side, so that we get everything here. When we do that, we don't form government. But I want more than that. I want a real mandate for change in the country. I want the and say what we have had in this past 19 years is wasted time. Let's catch up to the rest of the OECS. Let us surpass and be leaders, not just followers, in this Caribbean. That is part 2 of our destiny. We can accomplish it, and we must believe in ourselves. But first, we must believe that we can bring the change that is necessary. That requires us to vote. Believe that you can do it. My vote is 1, the same as yours. Let's put them together, get rid of the ULP, and start a brighter future. Central Leeward, I love you. Layou, I love you. And I want us to say, I want Thursday night, the 5th of November, to be the happiest day of our lives. And then we turn the corner and we say, after tonight, Thursday night, after Thursday it is. And then the pay and then thank you and good night.
We're going to party now. We're going to party now. First one left.
Let's get together and feel alright. Hear the children crying. Hear the children crying.
Let me party.
Saying,
One
give
left.
thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the boss. Let's hear it for Dr. Friday. After Thursday. After Thursday. After Thursday. And what we are going to do on Friday? But let me tell you a secret. You know that November 1st, they say John Bilego. And I born on November 1st. Up in the mountain there. So the 1st of November is my birthday. But when you think I'm going to celebrate? After the poll close on the 5th of November, I am not going to sleep until the 7th of November, because I will party from the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th, I go into bed. Well, you know tonight, you see this fella here, he playing all the thing, but he going to, you ready, you want to hear tougher tonight? Or you want to hear flanker? Who you want to hear tougher? Everybody? Everybody? Both of them. Yes, say both of them. So now, I can put up the mic and I can walk away because hey, Zin, we feel on there. We don't can jump off your body now. Because at this time, tougher can take. Are you? This a tougher. This a tougher. Charlie Bird. When the rum touch me liver, me whole body is.
So when I perform, who going to play? Show who you're voting. Show me who you're voting. We voting NDP, NDP, NDP. We voting NDP. We're doing this one a cappella. Listen. Them think them smart. We go. Why I can't perform because I don't perform nobody in the to play. So we go shell it down. We go play some tune and shell it down. Alright? Alright, let me play some tune and shell it down. Let me play some tune and shut it down in the road. Me the honest, I'm the honest musician here now. DJ and artist, nobody here to DJ. Who gonna play? Let me prank spot them in the road. Somebody big it up, Exeter. Make some noise, Exeter. Voila!
He's getting licks. All of them getting licks. Sutherland is getting licks. Carmelo is getting licks. Even the ball and beg, they getting licks till they're dead. I know this election night, no fun they're going to be 7. Half 5 in a row, this time I have to go. Nothing ain't going so, I said nothing ain't going so. Leeward, they're dead. Leeward, they're dead. Leeward, they're gone. Leeward, they're gone. Leeward, bye-bye. Leeward, bye-bye. Goodbye. Is getting licks, Morando is getting licks, Miniva is getting licks, all of them getting licks, Sutherland is getting licks, Carmelo is getting licks, even the ball and beg, they're getting licks till they're dead. I know this election night, no fun they're going to be 7. Half 5 in a row, this time I have to go. Nothing ain't going so, I said nothing ain't going so. Leeward, they're dead. Leeward, they're dead. Leeward, they're gone. Leeward, they're gone. Leeward, bye-bye. Leeward, the party dead, you wealthy dead, the hospital in a mess, the road are them in a mess, the country feel depressed, it's time to release the stress. I saw they lie, I saw they thief, I saw they wicked, me I wonder how they sleep. God, I saw they lie, I saw they thief, I saw they wicked like the belly and the beast. They raising up everything except for salary. The only seat they're winning is down in the cemetery. We need justice for Yugi. Justice for Yugi. We need justice for Yugi. Justice for Yugi. Leeward, they're dead. Leeward, they're dead. Leeward, they're dead. Leeward, they're dead. Leeward, oh gosh. Leeward, bye-bye. The party dead. They're gone. You wealthy dead. They're gone. Now that election call, Labour have them a ball. All who depend the high horse will have to fall. Fix the power yourself. You shape up like a jackass. Every day you are die, your finger them go chop off. Leeward, they're dead. Leeward, Leeward, they're dead. Leeward, they're gone. Leeward, they're dead. Leeward, the party dead. You wealthy dead. Bye-bye, Labour. See how you never worry. Goodbye, Labour. Tell a shame is a shame on you.
Hold on. I have a new tune to play for all you. You see when I drop the next one? I want to see everybody come in front of the stage. I have something brand new to drop. Let me go.
Justice.
We dip on it.
Let me go. Where the NDP army there? Listen to this one here.
It's in November 5th. We voted.
I want to tell you, listen to this one here.
Mr. Friday is the man for the house. We go get the UL. Whenever we go.
I want to see the yellow army. If you have something in your hand, hold it up.
November 5th.
Show the camera we bought. If you have something, hold it up.
Mr. Friday is the man for the house. We go get the ULP out. And we will never regret. It's the sweetest life we go get. And when the people them start to shout, I had to give me cousin a cloud. The boy make me start fret.
Hear that one here.
I love St. Vincent. I don't know where them saying them love. Them a whole get to use from them now. If you fly like a dove. Them a victimize the people. Them the poor man get push and shove. And the 5th of November put to vote.
I want to tell listen.
Never lose. Colors get so much like still even out the shoe.
What you say?
Never lose. Used to get so much like still even out the shoes. I say.
Sure, blow.
With the
Casper Jeep and NDP. This one here brand new.
I reach out to the youths them.
Big up the NDP fans them. Where the NDP fans them there?
The key.
Where them there?
Mr. Friday is the man for the youths. We go get the ULP out. And we will never regret. It's the sweetest life we go get. And when the people them start to shout, I had to give me cousin a cloud. The boy make me start fret. Chop the white shot on the step. I love St. Vincent. I don't know where them saying them love. Them a whole get to use them. Them now we feel fly like a dog. Them a victimize the people. Them the poor man get push and shove. On the 5th of November, put your foot finger up and say, never lose. Colors get so much like still even out the shoes. I say, never lose. Used to get so much like still even out the shoes.
Let me see in the road. Bunks. In the road now. Bunks.
Now that total of them over, I go take advantage on the thing when I hold ya. Cause woman, to be honest, if I don't release I go there.
Woman, to be honest,
if I don't release I go there. In less than no time I gone down in the knee. Down in the knee.
Where the yellow army there? It's got the licks.
Give me tougher, Leeward there. Leeward there.
Leeward there. The party there. You wealthy there.
Randy there. Thank you, tougher, thank you. Central Leeward. Let me hear you say yeah. You ready for Ben Exeter? You ready for Ben Exeter? You ready for the best beef in town? You ready for the best beef in town? Let me hear you say yeah. Wait. Calm down. Because see, a little later, Tougher will come back now and warm up the thing. But let me tell you something. Hold on, Nicole. You have to hear Ben Exeter. Because tonight, 7 years ago, we start the journey together. Huh? 7 years ago, maybe ironically, we born the same year. Few months apart. Tonight, I bring you the man with the plan. You know, I was listening to Frank De Silva yesterday, and when he started to play some tapes, some stories that Ben talk about how some of you women have to mind your children alone. And they was making mock of this. Making mockery of the women of St. Vincent and Grenadines. And I know Ben Exeter, when he decided to get into the ring, when he decided to get into this thing, he feel the pain of the ladies. That is why so many ladies are here tonight supporting Ben Exeter. And on November 5th, when the numbers are counted, I guarantee you that Ben Exeter will be the man that representing us in the House of Parliament. So tonight, without any further ado, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Layou, Buckerman, Cardinals, Bali, Central Leeward.
Change me, I go stay rough. Inna the giddy and you have to buckle up your lace. Be smart, don't be a cuff, no. Life it's a journey, it's a long race. Mama says son be wise and don't bring disgrace. So me take off the broom and start sweep the place. Cause all these ways they got to get erased. I love to me people that me embrace. The truth are the truth and that can't erase. So hell to all of those who want hate. Just send me to finish this race. So we ain't giving up now. We fight, we got to be ready. Just concentrated. Just said don't you worry, I'll be in a hurry, Lord. We got to be ready. Cause time's getting dreary. So we pray, we pray, we pray, we pray, we pray, we pray. Let's not be flow when the prayer gone up. Not a evil can harm us. Them think we don't run, we just a warm up. Yeah, nothing more.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Layou, Buckerman, Barrelay, Central Leeward. Yellow Army, are you ready? Are you ready to take back we country? Well, I'll tell you what, I'm ready. Dr. Friday is ready. The new Democratic Party is ready to take back what is taken from us 5 years ago. The Yellow Army is ready to march into victory. The other side is worried. You have them worried. They see the energy and the excitement coming from the Yellow Army, and they are running scared.
They are resulting to what they know they do best. Personal attacks. The other side wants to spend time focused on attacking me, but they're going to have to play that game all by themselves. I'm in this race to focus on you, the people of Central Leeward. They lost focus a long time ago. You can see this by just looking around, how much they've lost focus. They would rather spend the time talking about me than finding solutions to lift you up. People of Central Leeward, hard workers of Central Leeward, single mothers of Central Leeward, youth of Central Leeward, it's our time. They've had 20 years to get it right, and they have failed. Food security, failed. Skills development, failed. Youth empowerment, failed. Small business growth, failed. Fishing and agriculture, failed. Healthcare, failed. Yes, Central Leeward, we have taken a lot. And while we are strong, resilient people, we have learned to smile even though the worst of things deep down is very painful. We are hurting. Deep down we are tired, frustrated and fed up with the lack of representation that we've experienced. Deep down we know that over the past 20 years there has been nothing really to smile about.
No people come to Jamaica and not know how we live things. Say everything nice, true, we full of vibes and things. Them same one feel it to them heart when them get you overstand the real thing. Yeah, me day at town one day, I part with a white man we come all the way from Norway. And him turn to me and say, how comes Jamaica full of so much screw face? Same time he lift me head to the sky, and a teardrop fall from me high.
Having given an administration over 2 decades to prove themselves and receiving nothing but crumbs in return is a discouraging thing to witness. Hearing our youth express lack of hope for their future is a disheartening thing, a situation for us to face. Seeing the promises that ULP administration guaranteed to deliver come to absolutely nothing is discouraging, to say the least. They have actively stopped and stepped away from fishing, one of the most lucrative sectors in the country, on the region, to say the least, focusing instead on pumping all the resources into tourism and still failing. How can we find joy when our people cannot find jobs? How can we laugh when our youth have been given an unofficial curfew when using the playing fields, or risk injury by playing without proper lights? How can we smile when our needs have continually been ignored?
No people come to Jamaica and not know how we live things. Say everything nice, true, we full of vibes and things. Them same one feel it to them heart when them get few overstand the real thing. Yeah, me day at town one day, I part with a white man we come all the way from Norway.
We can look around and ask who's benefited from their leadership. Which one of you is better off today? Who is better off today than they were 5 years ago? When even one of their own followers who smile so enthusiastically when they're on stage calls into the program station to say they haven't had a job in 15 years. If their own followers can feel the acute sting of unemployment and despair, what is left for us? Their followers are still willing to go out to the polls and do what they've done for the past 20 years. Put them back into power. They're willing to give them another 5 years. We cannot let this happen. We have to wake up and see what is right in front of us. Just as a leopard can't change its spots and a zebra can't change its stripes, so the ULP can't change their track record. They have shown us who they are, an administration incapable of impactful leadership. So now it's time for us to show them. It's time to show them are no longer willing to stand aside and watch as they provide blind leadership and empty promises. It's time to show them that we understand what progress is and what we need to get it. It's time to show them that we're ready for change. It's time to remove them from office and send them packing and make room for Dr. Friday and Team NDP. It's time to give ourselves a better chance of success. Now is the time for the new Democratic Party. Vote creation. Vote for a pathway for skills development, training, and membership. Vote for a pathway to empowerment and self-reliance. We are committed to creating a pathway that improves the lives of Vincentians, all Vincentians. We are committed to ensure that our policies are framed around a Vinci first mentality, that one is designed to empower our people, to lift them up. They will come and say we are dreaming. Tell them yes. We will dream big, go hard, and make a difference. And we Vincentian people will truly make a difference. The other side is saying that left here over 30 years ago and went to Canada. Well, yes, that's true. But the sad reality is I came back and nothing changed. There was no growth and no progress. But if they want me to leave so badly, tell them when they're booking my ticket, book 2. Because when I leave St. Vincent, I want Ralph Gonsalves sitting next to me in Canada. Because if he doesn't do that, I ain't going, I ain't coming back. Because I know if I go to Toronto, he can't come back. I can come back the very next day. I am here to continue the fight. I am here with you, the people of Central Leeward, to continue our fight. I look out here tonight and I see familiar faces of same as I looked out on the day on the recount on 2015, right along here by the police station. You, the people of Central Leeward, stood with me on that fateful day, just as I continue to stand with you tonight. We stood side by side, and it was your presence that gave me strength to uncover the fraud and illegal activities it was your presence that gave me strength when they locked me up, as I heard your voices outside the barracks. It was your presence on social media and many of you in the courtroom as we fought for justice during the election petition. You stood with me, and I've stood with you, fighting for this rightfully ours, not running away or not turning away. So here I am again, still standing, and here you are too, to be broken, and we're ready to fight back. We shall stand together, we shall march together, and we should make change together. We know that this fight will be a tough fight, and we're ready for that fight. In fact, since 2015, we've never stopped fighting. So the fight continues, unbowed, unconquered, uncompromised. On Thursday, November the 5th, 2020, march with your armies, march with your warriors, march in the numbers, and vote them out. Vote the key. Vote for victory. Vote for vitality. Vote for empowerment. Vote for Exeter. One nation, one people, one victory. Thank you.
Some smile, some fight every day. We rise to the top, cause we know what it takes. Through it all we survive, yet still hold the faith. Unchangeable, Lord, unchangeable. Hey, no matter how the dollar might stack up, me still not change me, I go stay rough. Inna the giddy and you have to buckle up your lace. Be smart, don't be a cuff, no, no. Life it's a journey, it's a long race. Mama says son be wise and don't bring disgrace. So me take up the broom and start sweep the place. Cause all these ways they got to get erased. I love to me people that me embrace. The truth are the truth and that can't erase. So hell to all of those who want hate. Just send me to finish this race. So we ain't giving up now. We put up a fight, we got to be ready, cause time's getting dreary. Just said
Whoa. Whoa. Listen. We got some people here, boy, they could blow blue glue. You know what happened? You see them here? Are they going to join the police band? Police band one. But wait a second. Hold on. Boo. Let me tell you something now. You know, with all said tonight, all the speeches, all the dance, all the partying, if on November 5th you cannot vote, this means nothing. You must be able to go to the polls on November 5th and mark your X for Ben Exeter. Show me the sign. So, on November 5th, you must be able. Listen to me. It have 2 more days, tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday, to make sure that all of you, once you turn 18, that you could go and mark your X on November 5th for Ben Exeter. Huh? Folks, we have a good night. The speeches was great. And remember that when you go to the polls, yeah, you're getting music now. When you go to the polls, the symbol is the key. The party is the New Democratic Party. And make sure that you put your X there. If you have a problem registering, getting a chance for, get to Ben Exeter tomorrow. If you're in Barley, check out Paul Chris. If you're in Layou, check out Ben Exeter or the Bishop so that you can make sure that you are ready. So now, it's your party time. Enjoy yourself, have a great time, and get home safe. May God bless you. And see you in Barley or in Courtnose on Monday. A big meeting in Courtnose on Monday. So, this is time. Party. Have a good time. May God bless you.
we cannot be doing the same
Let me see the yellow army now.
day after day.
Let me see the yellow army.
And how come? I believe.
Army, yellow. Army. For years we not see them. Run them. No job for the youths them. Run them. We don't have no vote for give them. Run them. We gonna change them like dirty diaper. You can't be the general and you don't have the army.
Now is the time for leadership that provides good jobs.
Monday, Tuesday, it's Friday, Wednesday,